Got it. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome. This is meditation, and we are tracking with the goddesses for the next couple. And you may be wondering why or how the goddesses, how they sync up with Metatron, how and what it has to do with meditation. And again, meditation is how do we identify the metas, if you will, the highest expression of certain frequencies within our body for certain vibrations and energies within our body and our systems. And of course, the goddesses are mythologically oriented and the expression of what is now collective story, right? If we're still holding their stories with us, it is because they in some way influenced the current and the flow of consciousness. We're symbolic of it, both at an archetypal level, as well as impacting the energy within our body, how that energy is held. It trickles down at all levels. So when we do a goddess meditation, for example, with Isis yesterday, we were identifying the fragmented parts, right? And we were collecting those fragmented parts, bringing their frequency up and bringing them, returning them, pulling on the threads to return fragmented aspects of our soul to wholeness and to its home within us. So we're always seeking. The idea behind meditation is to get us to be seeking the highest expression of who we are, not just to bring calm and clarity and all of the brilliant things that come with when we do mindset and meditation, but to truly start to get our body to run in its starseed essence, to run in its divine blueprint. Because ultimately, we are here as humans with not only these souls, but this incredible gift of the light force energy of the God particle, of what I call the Emstra, the Metatronic spiral of transformation. And we want the mind to be orienting to it. And so when we're working with the goddess, not only is it a way of bringing up the highest expression, but there are aspects of each of the goddess stories that teach us lessons about how to work with that inner light, that inner Emstra energy. So that's what we're up to. And today's goddess, if we could get a drum roll, please, is one of I have a handful that, for me personally, continue to track and show up. And this one is always has been present for a long, long time and teaches us about what I call inversion or reverse engineering what is happening within our field of energy. And that is the goddess Cerridwen. And she's a Celtic goddess that essentially focuses on the best way I can describe it. She has a lot of different elements to the field of energy and the way she teaches us to hold a field of energy. But the best example I like to give with Cerridwen is it's like she has a cauldron, right? Which would be the womb. And within that frequency, within that womb energy, that cauldron energy that we all hold and we all carry, it's the midnight flame. It's the source of creation that the Emstra comes out of, right? Like it comes up and through and out of. So on the surface of that, we get our manifested results. We get the cake that's baked. But what Cerridwen's gift is and what she teaches us to do is how do we take a bite of the cake and then dissect the ingredients, reverse engineer. She is all about reverse engineering, understanding what is in the medicine that we're gifting ourselves and gifting to the world. What are the threads, if you will? And so, again, I love to use that analogy of threads and ingredients because ultimately these frequencies that we have in our system are just a concoction. They're a blend of parents and mythology and ancestors and genetic and energetic, our epigenetics, right? Like there's so many different layers to it. And we're here to serve two purposes. We're here to work and run. It's one of the unifying aspects to who we are. We are both spirit and human, and we typically run from the human perspective. our goal is in meditation is to start helping our mind function from the spirit perspective. And the moment we start to do that, we start to envision and know that we have this infinite potential through that Emstra, through that God spark that is living within us. And through that infinite potential, we get to hold it, right? We get to hold this energy, this field of energy. And that is what the cauldron is all about. It is the energy being held. So it's important for us to understand that is the feminine expression. The masculine expression, again, not related to guys and girls and all of those elements of it, but the masculine expression of energy, because no matter our gender, we hold both attributes. The masculine expression of energy is how do we take action, authentic action, non-triggered action from our infinite potential. Oftentimes our action is being taken from what we've been programmed with, right? So as we meta our energy, it becomes easier to connect to our authentic expression. As we understand the ingredients that are inside of our field of energy, it becomes easier to take action from an authentic expression. And so Cerridwen is here to help us with that today. I have no idea where we're going. There was no vision coming in. So we're all in this adventure as we call her in today together. So with that being said, closing the eyes, get ready to launch in through our light link. Nice deep breath in. Beautiful exhale out. And another nice deep breath in. And this time, really feel into the belly. Let your belly expand all the way open on this inhale. Really push it open, push out against the muscles in the abdomen. Beautiful. And exhaling, and just let your body settle. And another nice deep breath in. Again, breathing through the belly, really pushing out. It may even let it be somewhat uncomfortable. We're just going to wiggle some of those ingredients that are in there loose, and exhaling out. Go ahead and roll your shoulders. Oh, welcome this morning to our meditation as we send our consciousness now up to the sun, activating our light link connection, the golden flame, as you imagine the sun shining down upon you. And this golden flame is about partnership, right? It is about its qualifying nature is partnership, collaboration, connection. So just give yourself a moment to allow your mind to settle into partnership. When we start our day and boot our day, so often it's like, okay, go, go, go. I have this, this, this. We have so many things to accomplish. I want you to put all of that on pause. Imagine your to-do list or your work bag or your computer, jerk it all off and set it next to you and sit back. Because if you were to show up at a boardroom, you wouldn't show up, well, maybe you would, but you wouldn't, it would be frowned upon. You wouldn't show up with your face in your phone, your computer open, focusing on whatever's on your computer. No, you would show up ready to go, engaging the room, engaging the people around you. So as we connect with this light link, engage the field, engage spirit. Who's here? Who's already here, waiting to pick up that phone, waiting to drop in and collaborate with you as you feel that golden light of the sun. And just taking a moment now to further the connection, feeling into the earth. We're working goddess energy. It is all, at least the elements we're working today are earth oriented, of the earth. These goddess Cerridwen is of the earth codes, the archetype of the medicine woman. Nice big inhale and exhale. And so for those of you who are not familiar, and for those, and just to refresh your story, because it is such a fun story. Breathing in and out as we call Cerridwen into our partnership today. Breathing in and out and feeling the earth, taking a moment to let your energy body adjust as you call up Cerridwen. Inhaling and exhaling, imagining her coming into partnership with you today. Beautiful. And it may not be that you necessarily see her, but you begin to feel the trees around you. If you're indoors, you feel nature coming to life all around you. You feel your environment waking up. Maybe there's plants in the room. Maybe there's some spiritual objects. You feel them sparking to life as we enter her dimension, her cauldron, her space of creation. We are in the soup, right? We are in the mix. And that mix is our environment. So as you feel into this dimensional realm, as you feel your feet, let yourself land and notice where your feet carry you to. Where do they carry you to? And I want you now to envision a beautiful altar space, crystals, a mesa, beautiful altar space before you. For this is your control center. Imagine yourself sitting in the center of this altar. That just shifted it, right? And if it were on a table somewhere, now you're sitting in the center of it. So letting yourself drop in deeper and deeper as you now envision yourself sitting in the center of the crystals. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And allowing your energy to drop down even deeper as you imagine now just slowly spinning. Go ahead and actually envision drawing a circle with your hands of flame, of golden flame or pure flame, drawing a circle with the hands and stepping through. And as you step through that portal that you've just created on your altar, it's as though your altar has come to life and you're dimensionally able to step through it. And the next symbol we're going to work with from the circle of the cauldron or a portal is that of a triangle, which is the pyramid, which is progression. And so as you step through, take a pause here, allow yourself to calibrate, allow the mind to calibrate. What we're looking for are stairs, not necessarily down or up, more so out through dimensional space and time, and spiraling. So a spiral staircase or escalator, spiraling out into the fields. You may be held in blackness, darkness for a moment or two. This is just your mind adjusting to this dimensional realm that you stepped through. Just like whenever we walk into a new room, if the lights aren't on, it takes us a moment to adjust. Beautiful. Go ahead now and let yourself really begin to spin. Whether you envision moving out the spiral staircase or the escalator, or you just feel yourself spinning through space and time or outside of space and time through the darkness. And as you're spinning, spinning, notice if you're spinning clockwise or counterclockwise. It's most likely, depending on your fields and where you came in, meaning if you came in through a feminine or masculine expression, you may spin one way or the other. There's no right or wrong to it. Generally, it's clockwise. I'm sorry, counterclockwise. Again, just feeling yourself spinning. Go ahead if you're sitting and undulate. Let your hip bones gently rock from side to side to help you follow through with the spin. Beautiful. And as we do this now, this has taken us a little bit, but we're going into Cerridwen. So I'm going to give some of her story. I want you to keep focusing on the spin. We actually are getting streams of light moving past us now. So as though we're going at warp speed, light speed, and how the stars, when we see pictures of that, look like lines. So you may begin to see streamers of light. We're actually spinning through density. We're spinning through the consciousness, out of your human form into your light form. So the more you spin, the more release there is. And just keep focusing on your spin. Cerridwen's story is one, she had two sons, and I believe it was second son. Actually, I'm not sure of the order, but one was brilliant and beautiful, and the other was not so brilliant and not so beautiful. And she knew she could do something about it. So she decided to gift her son with brilliance and beauty. And so she created a concoction. And in true Celtic tradition, that potion of everything, all of the ingredients that were needed to embody brilliance and beauty in life, were put into her cauldron and stirred and needed to be stirred every day. And so she had her apprentice Gwion help her with that. And in traditional Celtic, or in Celtic tradition, something takes, any big energy takes a year and one day to come into form. So right now, as you're spinning, I want you to spin yourself back to a year and a day ago. You don't need to like actually recognize the date that that was, but just let yourself, as we spin through space and time, feel all of that history, all of your journey releasing. And also, because we're outside of space and time now, do the yo-yo effect and envision spinning a year and a day into the future. So all of your dreams and desires a year and a day ago, having manifest into form today. And conversely, your prayers and your intentions for today, manifesting fully into form and beyond a year and a day from now. Just keep spinning as though you are spinning that pot, spinning the energy, creating the inertia that allows the vortex to form. And as it does, I'm going to have you begin to look for a pillar of light or a door. In the distance, it'll probably look like first a star, a speck of bright light, bright white light, like a star in the distance, coming closer and closer and closer. Nice deep breaths in here as we arrive at each of your own individual personal years in a day. On Cerridwen's year in a day, Gwion was stirring the mixture, and in the process of it, a drop fell onto his hand. And before he realized what he had done, he licked it and knew instantly that that was it, that the potion was complete and he was in trouble. And so Gwion, becoming the most powerful, the most beautiful, the most brilliant, knew he needed to run because Cerridwen would be enraged that she would not have this potion for her son to cure, to bring remedy to the darkness. And so in her rage, she took off after Gwion. And Gwion, they go through a series of stories of Gwion in the chase and in the pursuit, transforming himself into a fish, and Cerridwen becoming a bird that hunts the fish and captures it out of the water. Before she can capture him, he becomes another animal, and so on and so forth. And the story goes on until Gwion eventually transforms himself into a seed of grain and lands in a grain tower. And Cerridwen, of course, becomes, I believe, a chicken. I'm not sure if it's actually named in the story, but she drops into the tower of grain and consumes all of the grain. And of course, in turn, consuming Gwion, becomes pregnant again with Gwion, who then manifests into form and becomes one of the many and famous bards and storytellers within the Celtic tradition and lore. I believe Taliesin. Don't hold me to that. But what's important for us here as we step off of the staircase and up to this door that has presented itself is, as you think through your past year and a day, how many times have you changed your face? How many times have you had to bring in and incorporate different archetypes? Mom, maybe grandma, maybe daughter, maybe sister, maybe brother, father, husband, wife. So many different archetypes and faces, hats, masks that we wear. Entrepreneur, executive, guru, and then, of course, the more challenging ones. And how many times are we doing that? And which ones are we wearing because we're being chased or we're chasing a dream? For this story told from Cerridwen's perspective is to chase the dream. But it is not until we embody all of the masks and we embody all of who we have been and who we are, and come into acceptance with all of the stories that we've told ourselves, that we're truly able to manifest the dream and the vision. So in a moment here, we're going to step through this door. I want you to first place your hands upon it. Notice if it's big, ancient. Is it iron? Is it wood? Is it carved? Is it gold? Feel into this door. And know that as you step through, all of the masks and transformations you have made are going to greet you one by one by one. As the door opens, you see a circular temple. Go ahead and feel this cold, cool stone floor beneath your feet. And go ahead and begin going around the room the same direction you were spinning to greet each version of yourself. You as a parent, you as a sister or a brother, you as a mom or a dad, a daughter or a son. If we started with the right side, where were you doing our interpersonal first? And as we move to the left side, we move more into our past lives, as well as the ways in which we're gifting or contributing to the world. So this could be you as an entrepreneur or an executive, as a leader, as a team leader, you as an introvert that likes to write or do art, or color or craft. As you make your way around this circular room, feeling each of these expressions of yourself greeting you. And as you complete the circle, you now turn to the center. And in the center is a couple foot high pillar, and on it, your potion, your mix, your elixir. Go ahead and take a moment to feel into all of your ingredients of who you've been, both beautiful and repressed, brilliant and dense. For each of these, all of them live within us. If we observe it in the world, it's one of the threads, it's one of these faces, it's one of these expressions of energy that is here and in some way guiding us. And so within this elixir, we can imagine our ability to hold our infinite potential. Go ahead and take your first sip, imagining it like the purest, clearest, coolest water from the freshest spring deep within the heart of the earth, the crystal quartz. You imagine it sliding down your throat and into your belly. And feel that potential beginning to seep out through your cells. As we drink from the well of life, we begin to feel the well of life now coursing up through our feet. Having turned the frequency on, our life force, that well of life force beginning to roll through, tingling our toes as though we're immersing ourselves now under and within its waters, dropping all the way in to the mix. And as it rises up, we feel ourselves being submerged in its essence and its energy. And as you feel yourself sinking beneath the surface, you gaze up to the sky, up to the ceiling, up to the light, like a pillar that is shining through. And you get to choose how you'll take action. What landscape do you want to draw into your life? How do you want the environment you're in to hold you? What peace and where do you need peace and calm? And where could you use some more energy and nurturing and get up and go? Now allowing these waters to swirl around where you could use more clarity. And as we feel these waters now emerging into your third chakra, your creation space, we feel them landing as that seed, as that grain of potential, a seed that is nourished by this wellspring of life that you've brought up through your field, through your feet, through this dimension. And as you feel that seed beginning to take form and root from the third chakra through the second and into your root, you feel its roots extending And its little spark of life, a first shoot and a leaf and another, weaving its way around the center of your heart and up the spine like a vine, crawling its way towards the sunlight above. And your body suddenly remembers the sunlight that we began our journey with. And you begin to feel yourself rising above the surface, following this shoot of energy as it purges or pushes its way through the new soils, immersing itself in sunlight, basking, first one leaf above the surface and the next and the next. As you now feel yourself rising, your energy rising along with it, growing like a tree, branches extending towards the sun, feeling the wind blowing through your branches, birds singing, butterflies flitting. As you now come in to your human form, a new version of yourself, a gift of Cerridwen. Who do you need to be today to embody the dream of tomorrow, right now? Letting yourself be this version of you, feeling all of these elements as each root becomes one of the threads that connected you to each of those versions of yourself that you greeted in this temple space. The root being the thread that ties you to those versions of yourself, and each version of yourself expressing in its highest meta expression, all culminating into this version of you here today, starseed, ready to gift and experience light in manifest and physical form, ready to birth a brighter tomorrow and tell the stories that only you can tell. As you feel yourself now coming fully into a starseed light human form, you notice Cerridwen again here, partnered with you. You take each other's hands, you feel her embrace, and you feel her energy of creation, of 0 point, of total neutrality, pulsing through you. A woo, woo, woo. Low vibration, frequency, low frequency, slow rolling sine waves, like a heartbeat, like waves crashing lazily against the shore as Cerridwen takes you in, resetting you to 0 point. Every day, a blank slate. Every day, the potential to be greater than we could ever imagine. Every day, an opportunity to re-envision our world through her eyes. Every day, an opportunity to wrong rights, to evolve, to involve. Giving her a hug, giving yourself a hug as you slowly make your way back into your body, back into the room, back into the moment, rolling your shoulders, wiggling your toes and your fingers, twisting through the spine from one side to the other. Go ahead and give your neck a roll from one side to the other. down to the front, from one side to the other. Oh, welcome back, my loves. So wonderful to have shared this incredible journey. Happy collaborating with Cerridwen today.